Hello, Bacha Party. Welcome to the world of science. This is Sufyan Sarvait explaining you the easy way of science. Today we are going to study Standard 9 Physics, Chapter number 9, Force and Law of Motion. And this is very important chapter. Even in the classical physics, clear? It's a simple. What is classical physics? Actually, the physics which is around us. Simply that the things which we can see by our naked eyes, like a car or the particular fan or anything, the things which you can touch and you can see by your naked eyes, that's all about the classical physics. Or we can say the macroscopic world, जो हम देख सकते हैं ना वो, not a microscopic, like a Avenger series, that quantum physics is a classical, not a quantum. Clear? In the quantum, there is a theory about the time traveling. Clear? But the things which is work on this world, that's all about the classical physics. How they work? What's the reason behind of that? That's all because of the force and law of motion, which is given by the Newton guru. Clear? So, actually it is not given by the Newton. At first there is already given by some other mathematician, or we can say the physicist. Yeah. But the thing is simple that उसने उस तरह से present किया है. That presenting to us. Who's that scientist? That we will discuss in our further. Clear? On the next slide जब हम पढ़ेंगे laws के बारे में. Clear? So simply question is that what is force? In the previous class we had already studied about it, that what is force actually. So simply that pull, it is simple, we had already studied. What is new about it? What's about it? We will study it new, but let's recall that what is a force. It is simple that when you push anything, the thing is going to be moved forward, or when you pull anything, clear? So thing is going to be comes backward, or it can be a stop. Clear? So what is force? Let us see it with the define. Clear? Here I had made it dot, so I had here made it also dot. So you can understand that कौन सा question है, कौन सा उसका answer है. Clear? This is one type of symbolic pattern I had made it here. Clear? So what is force? And external effort, in the form of pull or push, that change the state, clear? That change the state of rest or motion or direction or dimension of the body. Okay, so this is a simple one is defined. That simply we know very well that anything is not going to be completely in the motion until we are not applying the force through externally. Suppose we have one duster. Clear? अब जब तक मैं इसे फोर्स नहीं दूंगा तब तक वो आगे नहीं जाएगा. Even that if this duster is moving, clear? तो जब तक मैं उसे बाहर से फोर्स नहीं दूंगा, पकड़ूंगा नहीं, तब तक वो रुकेगा नहीं. Means it is simple, push and pull. Clear? So external effort which is in the form of pull or push. Simply there is a two things, one is in pull and another is a push. Push means धक्का देना, pull means पीछे खींचना. Yeah. So to change the state, what is that? To change the state, simply that state must be in the board rest or is in the motion. Clear? Rest, or we can say stationary, or in the motion. Clear? So two things we had already studied. Okay. But here I had also write that or dimension or direction. What is that? Simply, okay. Many of the person are watching the matches. Clear? Now sessions of IPL. So when you observe it the perfectly IPL through these laws, what we are doing? It is simple that we are watching on that time. One bowler is coming and with their bowling they throw the ball in the particular straight direction. Clear? Means what they are pushing with their external force. Means उसने एक force दिया, push वाला उसने bowling कर ली. Clear? Now batsman they also first they what they do, उसने bat घुमाया, ठीक है? तो उसने pull किया. When we are observing with the slow motion, तो वो क्या, वो ball वहीं पे रुका. Clear? After that उसने bat घुमाया, एक direction दे दी. Means with the force they provide the direction. Yes, बच्चा buddy, this is the physics. Feel it. Without feeling, it's not able to understand anything. Clear? So बल्लेबाज ने घुमाया bat and it provide the direction. Clear, बच्चा buddy? Okay, so we have understand that with the force how we can change the direction. Okay, now the dimension is, sir, how the dimension? Okay, if you have, suppose that I have one particular cube of ice or any of the substance or any of the metals. Clear? Now while applying the force on that substance, दोनों तरफ से apply करो. Clear? Then what's happened? They are changing the size. Even that if you are take the balloon, if you blow the balloon with the field of air, when you applying the force on both the sides, it can be change the size. Clear? So what is that? Change the dimension. Dimension is become the simple that 3D होगा तो 2D भी हो जाएगा. मतलब कि क्यूब बॉक्स होगा उसे दबाओगे. Metal property that we had already studied in the playlist, there is already given that particular that metal have three property: ductility, sonorous sounds. Clear? So अगर metal को आप दबाओगे, what they happen? They convert it into the sheet. But एकदम पतली सीट हो जाएगी. मीन्स 3D से 2D हो जाएगी. Simply that change of size is also the dimension. Clear में जब? So what is that? Now simply that there is a type of force are there. Okay, let us look which type of force are there. Types of force. Okay, so first type is what? It is simple. First type is a contact force. अगर आप किसी के कांटेक्ट में आए, उसने फोर्स लगा दिया तो कांटेक्ट फोर्स हो गया. नॉन कांटेक्ट फोर्स, सर बिना कांटेक्ट किए कुछ कुछ होने लगा. सर ये आगे पढ़ेंगे, पहले ये दोनों समझते. Okay, so what is contact force? It's simple that when you slap on someone cheek, तो बिना छुए आपने उसे फोर्स लगाया है? No. You are applying the force. Clear? You are contact with that person. Clear? On that time you are applying the force. Even that if I want to take from downstairs to up, नीचे से ऊपर उठाना है, तो मैंने क्या किया? कांटेक्ट में इसे आया हूँ. Clear? कांटेक्ट से पकड़ा है, ऊपर लिया है. Clear बच्चा बाड़ी? Are you getting my point? What is contact force? Okay. So for the contact force, there is an example is that applied force. Even that there is a frictional force. Next is an normal reaction. Okay. Now, applied force, we had already studied that while applying the force on any of the substance, you can hold it. Clear? आप उठा के उसे रख सकते हो, छू सकते हो, रोक सकते हो. That's a contact force. Clear? Now, friction force is a simple that when you throw anything, clear? And with the air friction, हवा की वजह से वो रुक जा रहा है. Even that आप जमीन से स्लाइडर की तरफ फेंक रहे हो. Clear? With the use of sliding, with the use of surface frictional. फ्रिक्शन इज अ सिंपल दैट घिस जाना, कोई भी चीज घिस जाती है ना, दैट्स अ फ्रिक्शन. क्लियर? सो इट्स नोन एज फ्रिक्शन फोर्स. क्लियर? व्हेन यू थ्रो द बॉल on the lane, on that time without applying the force the ball can be stopped. How? With the friction force. You can look at here that when you throw the ball on that time on the surface, the frictional force is in this direction, Fs, and your ball is rotating in this direction. Means frictional force are always in the opposite direction. So don't getting. Okay, I will give you another example. When you are riding the bike, clear? On that time, you are always observing that when you go in this direction, clear? The air blow in opposite direction of yours. आप बहुत जोर से बाइक चला रहे हो और आप सोच रहे हो काश उल्टी डायरेक्शन होता तो इतना जोर नहीं लगाना पड़ता. क्लियर? कि उल्टी डायरेक्शन इस तरफ हवा घूम रही है तो इतना जोर मेरे को लगाना पड़ रहा है. क्लियर? ओके. आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हेन यू मूव, टर्न अराउंड, घूम के आए, नाउ यू आर थिंकिंग ओह एयर इज ब्लोइंग इन माय डायरेक्शन सो आई कैन गो वेरी रैपिडली. बट जैसे ही आपने साइकिल चलाना शुरू किया इस डायरेक्शन में, हवा ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में हो गई. सर व्हाट इज दिस? मेरे सपनों को चूर चूर कर दिया. ओके, सो व्हाट्स हैपेंड टू दिस? इट्स ऑल अबाउट द फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स. दे ऑलवेज टू योर ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन when you are moving or when you are running, even that when you throw anything on that time the air is always in your opposite direction. Clear? एयर एक ही जगह पे होती है लेकिन आप जाते हो ना स्पीड में, सो उससे क्या हो रहा है, एक पर्दे को यू कैन टेक इट सिंपली दैट यू हैव वन पर्टिकुलर क्लॉथ, दिस इज योर क्लॉथ, एंड इफ यू आर मूविंग, सो इफ यू आर मूविंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन तो क्या होगा, आपके चेहरे पे क्लॉथ आएगा और पीछे बाकी का कपड़ा रहेगा लेकिन वो पोर्शन क्या होगा, आगे होगा. मीन्स व्हाट? It's making this direction, means what? Opposite direction हो रहा है. आप इस तरफ से जा रहे हो, ये आपको पीछे की तरफ खींच रहा है. The same thing is done by the frictional force. Clear? Sir, feel it. Look at, you can do it the practicals. Clear? Now, normal reaction. What is normal reaction? Normal reaction is it will be come in the future and a further level when you are taking the science in the physics. फिजिक्स इज वेरी अमेजिंग सब्जेक्ट. सर फील करो तो सब कुछ आसान है. क्लियर? और नेम टेक इज ऑलवेज दैट सब कुछ आसान है, सब आसान है. क्लियर? सो व्हाट इज द नॉर्मल रिएक्शन? नॉर्मल रिएक्शन इज ऑलवेज वर्क ऑन द परपेंडिकुलर डायरेक्शन. क्लियर? नाउ दिस इज आवर बॉक्स. सो over the downside there is a gravitational force, so it will always in the mg. क्लियर? लेकिन उसे बैलेंस करने के लिए देयर विल बी द वन फोर्स, इट्स दैट नॉर्मल फोर्स. क्लियर? अगर आपका स्लाइडर इस तरह से है, क्लियर? अभी भी थोड़ा ऊंचा कर देते, ऐसा है. हियर इज वन पर्टिकुलर बॉक्स. Now we know very well that gravitational force is always in the downward direction. ऊपर नीचे कहीं नहीं जाएगा. So this is our center. So gravitational force is always in the downward mg. लेकिन सर ये तो उसके ऊपर है, लेकिन बच्चा ये हमेशा क्या होगा, परपेंडिकुलर होगा. मीन्स what? Newton. n is a normal. Clear? So it will become in the future study. अभी तो मतलब ये समझने के लिए that अभी ये क्यों आया ना, उसका एक रीजन है, क्यों मैंने बताया. For that we will go it further. First of all, let's discuss that non-contact force. Non-contact force is a without coming contact they are applying the force. Like you can see the magnet and the iron thing. If the iron thing is over here and suppose this is my magnet, so it will automatically move in the direction of the magnet. इस तरफ आ जाएगा पूरा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसे अट्रैक्ट किया है. But बच्चा पार्टी, have the particular magnet is touched the iron thing? No. Then also they comes towards the direction of a magnet. Why? Because of the non-contacting force. So it's not, example is that magnet, electrostatic, clear? So even the gravitational, your body is running on the land. Why? आपकी body जमीन पे खड़ी है, चल रही है. What's the reason behind of that? Because of the gravitational force. Is it you can watch it or you can particular observing that gravitational force? No, but you can feel it. How? When you throw the chalk upside, it automatically comes downwards. Why? Because of the gravitational force. जमीन खींच रही है सर, खींच रही है आपको. अगर इसे भी छोड़ दिया नीचे ही आएगा. Clear? So it's all about the gravitational force. Clear? Now another in contact, non-contact. Now that balance force, balance, and another is that unbalanced, or we can say non-balance. Clear? So unbalance is not sound particular good. So it's a non-balance is not sound particular good. So it's a unbalanced. Unbalanced force. Clear, Bajabari? So what is that? From the balance we can get the idea that anything going to be a balance. Clear? So which is balance कर दोगे, it's the balance force. That when you go in the market, on that time you can observe that there is a balancing machine. Even that when you do the arm wristing, पंजा लड़ाते हैं ना, और कोई भी चीज बीच में आके रुक गई है. Why? Because one person is applying the force on this direction, another is person applying the force on this direction. So दोनों का force equal. There is an equal and opposite force. So it always hold in the between. So it's a balance force. But suddenly some person is applying more force towards this direction. तो क्या होगा? So it will become the unbalanced force. जब तक balance है तब तक वैसा का वैसा है. Clear? But after unbalancing, it going to be in the direction of the particular unbalance. Clear? Simple that when you applying the force 10 Newton on particular this board. Clear? Now board is not moving, but when you suddenly apply the particular force of 20 Newton on this direction, clear? Then board is also moving in this direction. उसकी capacity, the capacity is only for the 10 Newton to oppose. But suddenly if I apply the force by calling my friends that I want to push this board, so they are also helping me. तो क्या हो जाएगा? Unbalance. Clear हो जाएगा? Write it in your book or take a screenshot. So we will move it further. Okay, there is another slide that you can observe it. That about what I had speak. That balance force and the unbalanced force. Clear? So balance force is simple, that which is equal in size and opposite in the opposite direction. Clear? It's going to be a balance each and everything. Clear? You can observe it that okay. This is the what is done in here. Is the unbalanced thing. Clear? Okay. आ गया कोई अच्छी चीज होनी चाहिए. This is the balance thing. Clear? But suddenly I take it on this side, so it's going to be falling down. So it's a unbalanced. Clear, Jabadi? Now This define is given here that do not cause any change. Clear? So do not cause any change in motion. They are equal in size and opposite direction. Clear? So equal in size and opposite direction. Clear? There always is a balance force. Clear? Now, if you are fighting also, there is also the physics rules are applied. हाँ, अगर आप दूसरी कोई मूवी देख रहे हो साउथ मूवी, तो उसके अंदर फिजिक्स के रूल एकदम दिल खोल के तोड़े. But when you observing Bollywood fights, even that particular science fiction movie, over there you can observe it. But nowadays there is a movies are there. There is always break down the rule of science. Clear? So it's for only for entertaining, not the reality. Clear? Cause change in motion. They are not equal in size, even that not opposite in there is opposite direction, clear, but not equal in size. So if I applied a 10 Newton to the one person, clear, और सामने वाला मेरे को 20 Newton दिया, तो क्या हुआ? Opposite direction हो गया, clear? So वो भारी पड़ गया हम पर. Now simply about that formula of force is that F equal to ma, ma. Father equal to mother, F equal to ma. This is a short form, clear, that you can remember it. Ma, father equal to mother, that's F equal to ma. Mass into acceleration, clear. So what is acceleration? That we will already study in the previous lecture. If you have not seen the video, go in the playlist, you can watch it, clear. Now force is a vector quantity. Why? Because of the acceleration. That acceleration is also the vector quantity. So to denote the vector things, we are applying the arrow over the head. Clear? So this type of arrow you have to present it. So you can say that this is the vector. Clear? Force is vector, acceleration is a vector. Clear? Now the SI unit of a force is what? It's the Newton. So it can be denoted by capital N. Clear? Because Newton has discovered this type of things. But now in the CGS system, the Newton is going to be converted into the dyne. There is a relation between. So 1 Newton equals to 10 raised to 5 dyne. Clear? Now in some of the example, there is not directly given that acceleration. So what we have to do, in some of the examples there is a given that initial velocity, final velocity, even the time. So we can use it the previous lecture formula, first law of motion. Clear? That first equation of a motion is A equals to V minus U divided by T. Clear? Even that third equation of motion, if there is a given that initial velocity, final velocity, and not given the time but given the distance, time नहीं दिया लेकिन distance दिया हुआ है, then you can use it v square minus u square divided by 2s. This is the important things. Clear? So write it in your book. So we will go moving the further. Okay, so another slide is come to your screen about the inertia. So what is inertia? We had already studied about the force, type of force, formula of force. Now the inertia. Inertia is a simple thing that the thing is always maintain their states. If you are observing in the human nature, let's go through the first of all human nature. Yeah? So ह्यूमन नेचर जो सोया हुआ है उसे सोने की बहुत पसंद है. क्लियर? दे वांट टू स्लीप, बट द पर्सन दे आर वर्किंग टू अर्निंग द मनी, दे लाइक टू वर्क. क्लियर? मींस दे लाइक टू टेक मनी और अर्निंग द मनी. Clear? And the person who are lazy and asleep, they are just thinking that okay, leave it, we will do it, or they are just time pass the things. Even else. Okay, so this is the normal psychology what I am saying. Clear? But in the physics, what is that? Inertia. Inertia is a simple thing that when you are applying the force to any of the things, at first they are not working. आपने जोर लगाया लेकिन वो चल ही नहीं रही. Why? Because they opposing you. Because of the balance force means they always stay in the steady. Clear? But when you applying the greater force than their force, मतलब उसको ओपोज करने की कैपेसिटी 10 न्यूटन की है, आपने 12 न्यूटन अप्लाई कर दिया. मीन्स व्हाट? वो थोड़ा सा आगे चला, but you are find that particular sound like ching. That's now it's not coming this. Otherwise, it's always come to the chalk. Clear? Means on that time you are getting some noise. So that noise comes from the frictional force. Clear? And the particular box or the thing is going to be moved from their position because of the unbalanced force. Clear? So what is the inertia? The tendency the tendency of object to remain in the state of rest or to keep moving uniformly is called inertia. It's simple that if they are in the rest, they always stay in the rest. उसको रेस्ट में ही रहना पसंद है. Clear? Means if you have take an example, if you have a particular ball, clear? If you place it, suppose this we have a chalk. Clear? Now chalk is always in the stayed position until the external force is applied on it. वो स्टेडी में ही रहेगी जब तक उसे एक्सटर्नल फोर्स हम अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे तब तक वो क्या रहेगी स्टेडी में. Now if the thing is in the motion, चल रही है, they always stay in a motion. But sir, here when we are observing the things, they suddenly comes to stop. But because of the frictional force and because of other factors. But if you want to see the object moving, continuously moving and holding the inertia, so you can observe it that the planetary moving their orbits. All the planets are moving their orbits. सालों, लाखों, करोड़ों सालों से वैसे की वैसे चल रहे ना. Why? Yes, because of the inertia. They are in the motion, so they are holding their particular position. Clear? अब स्टॉप है तो वो स्टॉप में ही रहेंगे. जब तक किसी ने उसे धक्का नहीं किया तब तक वो वैसा वैसा ही रहेंगे. Clear? These things, clear? This is what it's a inertia. Clear? So you can get the particular example that the things is in the motion, they continue still in the motion. You can take the example of the planet. Clear? Things which is in the rest, they always stay in the rest. You can take the example of any of the object which is nearby you. पेन से भी खेल रहे हो तो वहां पे रखो, वैसी वैसी रहेगी जब तक आप फोर्स लगा के हिलाओगे नहीं. क्लियर? नाउ देयर इज 3 टाइप ऑफ इनर्शिया. वन इज दैट इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट. क्लियर? दैट वी हैड स्टडीड दैट द थिंग्स ऑलवेज स्टे इन द रेस्ट, दैट until and unless we are applying the force on it, so they are always stay in the rest. जब तक रेस्ट में तब तक रेस्ट में रहेगी जब तक हम फोर्स ना लगाए. क्लियर? नाउ इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन. Clear? So for that you can take the example that if you are going the bike or in the car and you are traveling in the particular car. Clear? बस भी चल रही है, हम भी चल रहे हैं, बस भी चल रही है, हम भी चल रहे हैं. Clear? On the same time, suddenly the driver stopped the bus. Clear? On that time you suddenly feel some force in the direction of towards, आगे की तरफ झटका खाएंगे. Clear? Or if you stay in the more steady state, बस भी रुकी हुई, आप भी रुके हुए, and suddenly bus start और चली आगे तो आप पीछे की तरफ से झटका खाए. Why? Because of the inertia of motion. Means पहले हम ये देख लेते हैं. Inertia of motion means what? When the bus is traveling, in the bus you are also sitting, means you are also traveling. आप ट्रैवल बस के साथ कर रहे हो, आपको क्या लगेगा रास्ता चल रहा है लेकिन आप चल रहे हो. क्लियर? With the travel, you are traveling with the bus and suddenly the bus stop, but your body is in the motion. आपकी बॉडी मोशन कंटिन्यू कर रही है लेकिन बस स्टॉप होगी तो आपको झटका आगे लगेगा क्योंकि अब तो बस रुक गई. Simply that when you are running and suddenly one person take your leg behind, पैर खींच लिया तो आप क्या करोगे? गिर जाओगे, तो आपका मोशन क्या होगा? रुक जाएगा. Same thing is happen to you. Feel it बच्चा body. Imagination. Clear? Now when you are in the steady position, clear, and suddenly the bus is start and when you go forward, clear? Your bus is go forward, so you go backward. Why? आप steady position पे हो, आपने hold किया हुआ है, but suddenly your bus start moving, so with the bus आप झटका खा रहे हो फिर आप अपना मोशन कर रहे हो. This all about the physics. And this always done in the particular ST bus. When you go in the ST bus, you can feel it, all the things. Now, particularly inertia of direction. What is the inertia of direction? It is simple that when the particular any of the vehicles travel in the right direction, you move in the left direction. The car ने right turn लिया, you go in the left side. When the car left turn, you are taking the right direction. Why? Okay, let us look at the particular diagram. Okay, now this is what I said, that the body always prefer the motion. Clear? So when the car and the particular body is traveling in the same direction. Clear? Now suddenly the car is moved in this direction, तो आप इस डायरेक्शन में होगे बिकॉज ऑफ दिस मोशन. क्लियर? तो आपको क्या लगेगा, कार लेफ्ट में गई, यू आर फीलिंग द राइट डायरेक्शन, बट इट्स नॉट अ राइट, इट्स अ स्ट्रेट डायरेक्शन बिकॉज कार टर्न इन दिस डायरेक्शन. क्लियर? तो आप इस डायरेक्शन में चले गए. क्लियर? सो इट्स द इनर्शिया दैट यू कैन फील इट व्हेन यू आर राइडिंग द vehicle or when the anything is happening to your surrounding. Just observe and feel the things, you can get all about the physics. Clear? Now Newton's first law of motion, well, it's also known as what? Law of inertia. Why? Because Newton had given the first law, which is already we had studied about the inertia. Both are the same. उसने inertia ही बताया हुआ है. Okay, what is that? Look at here. An object remain in state of rest or in the uniform motion in a straight line unless and until external unbalanced force is applied on it. जो चीज रेस्ट में, that will become the rest unless and until if I applying the force on it, तब तक वो रेस्ट में रहेगी. If the thing is in the motion, तो मैं क्या करूँगा, तुरंत रोकूंगा. Like suppose that if there is a bike is coming towards my side, और आपने force लगाया, clear? So it's come to in the rest position, मतलब वो motion में से rest में आई. कब? जब आपने external force लगाया. Clear? This is the first law of motion. Clear? Now there is another interesting second law of motion, third law of motion, that we will go in our next lecture. Till then, tune with us. Goodbye. And the last thing is that do whatever you want to do, man, but don't trouble your parents. Goodbye.